What is proposal writing? Well, in this video, we're going to dive into that and more. Hey there, my name is Josh, and I have over 10 years of experience in technical writing and writing proposals. I'm also the founder of Technical Writer HQ, where I teach proposal writing. Now, before we dive in this video, take a moment to subscribe to our channel, and that way you won't miss any of our future videos on how to become a great writer and, of course, write better proposals. Now, let's go ahead and dive in. So a proposal is a written document that outlines everything stakeholders need to know to initiate a project. And proposal writing is a process organizations follow for proposal creation. And a well-written proposal informs and persuades and combines research, analysis, and persuasive writing. Proposals are used in a various amount of contexts, including business, academia, and government. In each case, the goal is to obtain approval for a plan that solves a problem. And a proposal offers comprehensive information about a project that an organization wants to undertake. It includes the objectives and goals of the project and outlines a process and the resources required to complete the project successfully. Now let's go ahead and look at the different types of proposals. So you have a business proposal. A business proposal, also known as sometimes a sales proposal, is a proposal that businesses offer to existing or potential customers to persuade them to buy products or use a service. And a business proposal outlines a business's capabilities, experience, and resources. It also includes information about the proposed project, including things like scope, timeline, and cost. And there are two types of business proposals. We have solicited proposals. Businesses create solicited proposals in response to a formal request for a proposal, also known as an RFP, or an informal request from a customer. And the customer request contains a detailed description, ideally, of what the customer needs, along with proposal formatting instructions and selection criteria. And businesses interested in helping the customer send proposals outlining how they propose to meet the customer's requirements. And then we have unsolicited proposals. An unsolicited proposal is a proposal that a business sends to an existing or potential customer without the customer actually making a request. It is a marketing tool used to generate new business opportunities. And the business identifies a potential problem or need of the customer and creates a proposal outlining how a product or service can solve the problem. And here's an example table that would go into a sales proposal showing goals, targets, strategies, timetable, and calendar. Then we have grant proposals. A grant is a sum of money an organization gives another organization for a specific purpose. Organizations, typically from nonprofit sector, create grant proposals to secure grants from funding organizations. And in this type of proposal, an organization seeking the grant will usually outline their mission, the problem they are solving, and how they plan to use a grant. And grant proposals are often used to obtain funding for a specific project. And here you can see an example of a grant proposal budget that you'd include in a grant proposal. Now, feel free to take a moment to pause the video here if need be to get a better idea. Next, we have an investment proposal. An investment proposal is a business document designed to convince potential investors to invest in a company or project. Some examples include startups applying for funding or small businesses applying for a business loan from a bank. And an investment proposal includes a challenge the business is solving, why it's uniquely qualified to do so, projected income targets, and growth goals. The most important part of an investment proposal is a list of potential benefits for investors. And then we have a research proposal. A research proposal is a document researchers create to request sponsorship for a research project. It includes information about the research project, the researcher's objectives and methodology, and the expected outcomes. The research proposal also outlines a budget and timeline for the project. And then we have internal project proposal. This type of proposal is internal to a business, and employees create internal project proposals to obtain approval for new projects. And an internal project proposal should outline the challenge and the solution. And the most important part of an internal project proposal is the benefits that the project will bring to the business, such as increased revenue, improved profit margins, streamlined operations, increased customer satisfaction, or improved employee satisfaction. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the proposal writing process. First, understand your audience. When you create a proposal, your objective is to persuade your audience to think, feel, and act in a certain way. And you can't achieve your objective until you understand your audience. You need to focus on what appeals to your audience and create the proposal with that in mind. And this is another way of saying that your proposal must highlight benefits that will accrue to your audience if they accept your proposal. And an in-depth understanding of your audience will help you determine what information to include in it, what to leave out, and most importantly, how to present the information. Next, you want to define the problem. Use this part of the proposal to answer these questions. What problem are you trying to address? Why is it a problem? Why is it worth solving? Make sure you articulate the problem in a clear and concrete language. And make your audience see the problem the way that you see it. And make sure that the pain point is succinctly described in a manner that resonates with them. And demonstrate the clarity you have when it comes to serving this problem. And make sure to use data from your research to back up your assertions. And now you want to present the solution. So after you stated the problem, you need to offer a solution. And you can explain why your solution is better than other solutions, present facts and figures that back up your solution. And share your overall strategy and any specific tactics you'll bring to solve the problem. And try to anticipate questions and objections and weave answers in your writing to help address those anticipated objections. At this point, you want to share your plan. This is the most critical section of the proposal and discusses how you plan to achieve the objectives. You can start by explaining your approach and why it's relevant and effective. You can share details about the resources you'll use and their responsibilities. You can also include the risk mitigation strategies you'll use to deal with problems. Next, outline your budget. And this is a section where you break down project costs. Provide as much detail as possible. To aid reader comprehension, break your budget into categories. A detailed financial breakdown will signal to stakeholders that you've done your research and you won't waste their money. And of course, you need to outline your schedule. This is a section where you detail how you will meet deadlines. Be concrete here. Provide project start and end times and details for project sections you can work on simultaneously. And here are a few tips that will help you create effective proposals. So first, follow the recommended format. Now, most organizations and customers include the required format in the RFP. And make sure you follow the recommended format while writing the proposal. Go through the RFP and look for the list of the required documents and ensure that you include all the required documents in your proposal. It's also important to submit your proposal before the deadline. And feel free to pause the video here to see this detailed example that includes part of an internal company proposal for a social media campaign. Now, it highlights both the direct and non-direct costs, so you can see how it gets granular to an extent. And sometimes companies have their own specific format you must follow when there's an RFP. So it's important to know what that is in order to be able to get your internal proposals accepted. And next, in best practices, you want to include an executive summary. So your proposal will often land in front of executives who are busy and juggling multiple priorities simultaneously. And the executive summary is the best tool for grabbing your reader's attention to make them want to read the whole proposal. And it summarizes the proposal so readers can rapidly become acquainted with a large body of material without reading it from beginning to end. And it usually contains a brief statement of the problem or proposal, background information, concise analysis, and main conclusions. And then we want a powerful executive summary, which can open the door to numerous opportunities. A poor executive summary can get your proposal discarded. And throughout this, tell a story. Use the power of storytelling to engage with your audience on an emotional level. To craft a compelling story, you need to understand what motivates your audience intimately. Incorporate the key themes of the pain points they're experiencing and how those will be alleviated if they work with you. And make sure to focus on also having who is the antagonist and protagonist. So who's the hero of the story? Is that the person who you're looking to approve the proposal? And of course, include a table of contents. And a table of contents gives your proposal an outline that helps your audience understand what they're reading from a bird's eye view and really get a better grasp of that story. And this is helpful for the reader because they can see exactly how the proposal is laid out and simply just understand what's coming next. Additionally, they can easily navigate to the critical sections at each level of the decision-making process. So if they just want to see a couple of things, well, they can do that faster. And you want to leverage visual content. Visual content is often more attractive and engaging than plain text. Visuals add variety, make content engaging, and enable readers to understand complex concepts easily. You can use charts, graphs, and infographics to present data in a visually appealing way. And you also want to include quantitative data and statistics. Quantitative data and statistics provides credibility and strengthens your argument by providing concrete, fact-based evidence. Make sure you use reliable and up-to-date data in your proposal too. Also, cite the data sources to add more credibility to your arguments. And keep it simple. The reader should be able to grasp your proposal's main ideas without too much difficulty. And use simple and meaningful sentences. Keep the sentences and paragraphs short and clear to make the content easy to understand. And of course, avoid using jargon or highly technical terms, and avoid exaggeration. Exaggeration can make your proposal look unrealistic, and it can also damage your credibility. So stick to the facts that you can back up with data, and add a call to action or CTA. A call to action helps the reader to understand what you want from them. And you can add a call to action at the end of your proposal or in a separate section. And adding a compelling CTA will encourage the reader to take the desired action. And one of the important things that you just can't skip over, of course, proofread and edit. Grammatical, spelling, and punctuation mistakes can make your proposal look unprofessional and negatively affect your customers and your reputation. So make sure you edit and proofread your proposal before sending it to the customer. And you can use computer-based tools to review content for spelling, grammar, and punctuation mistakes. So tools like Grammarly. And you can also use a professional editor services to edit and proofread your proposal. And there you have it. We just went over everything from what proposal writing is, the types of proposals, the proposal writing process, and the best practices. And thank you for staying with me all the way through this video lesson. And if you feel like you have a better understanding of how to become a great proposal writer and simply just a better understanding of the proposal writing process, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and that way you can keep up to date with everything technical writing and all the good content that we have on how to become a great writer. And I'll see you in some of those following videos. Cheers.